What's up, guys? Brad, Joy Lawn Care. Gonna do a startup equipment talk, kind of a what you need, what you probably don't need, and you think you may need. Some different ways to get your equipment, whether it be financing, buying, or whatever. However you're gonna go about doing it. Let's get started. So, in starting a lawn care business, what are the major components you need? A mower, a trimmer, and that's basically it. Those two things will get you started. You can trim with a string trimmer, you can edge with a string trimmer, and you can cut with a mower, whether it be a riding mower or a push mower, a walk behind mower, or whatever have you that you may have already. Any string trimmer will work to start out with. If you're only going to cut a few lawns, a non-commercial trimmer works fine. A good trimmer, in my opinion, to start out with. If you're going to go buy one and you don't want to spend a ton of money, but you want to have a bunch of options with it, it's the Husqvarna 128. I think it's an LTD. You can pick that up at Lowe's. I think they're about $200. Regular price, you can catch them on sale sometime. But it's an attachment series trimmer. It's a residential use, so it's got a cable shaft in it, not a steel shaft like a lot of your commercials do. But you have a lot of options with it. You have the attachments for it, the trimmer plus or trimmer trap, one of the others. Head trimmer attachment, blower attachment, chainsaw attachments, whatnot. And the Troy-Bilt line is actually really good too. That you can use as an attachment series too. But with the attachment series, you can do a lot. You can throw a blower attachment on there, blow a driveway off when you get done and whatnot. Just something small that you can do. A mower, like I said, it can be a lot of things. It can be a push mower you go buy. It can be a riding mower you already have. It can be a push mower you already have. One thing I will recommend is a self-propelled mower. I think that can be a big part because you can really get wore down pushing around a regular mower, and it not being self-propelled. But see what else? Something that if you have the money for, I think you splurge on is a blower. Several options there. Lowe's has a Husqvarna. I think it's a 128, 125. It's a handheld blower that you can get. It's actually a very good blower. My dad has one. It's lasted him quite a long time. He uses it quite often, so it's a nice blower. Another good blower is the Stihl BG55. I think they're about $150. I think the price point on the two of them is pretty similar. They're both very good blowers. Both should last you a long time, residential or commercial use. Either way, light or heavy use, it doesn't matter with them too. They're good blowers. But what would I recommend as far as equipment? If you're gonna cut 5-6 yards this year, your first year starting, push more. Go for it. It's all you need. As long as you're not looking at anything big. A lot of what I cut now versus what I was cutting, it's a lot different. I cut mostly, at my average yard, probably a quarter to a third of an acre. So I don't need this big John Deere zero turn. Where I was cutting, I was living in a more rural area, not in the city. I was cutting large acreage, 1+ acres, so that mower was needed. But to me, a 36-inch walk behind is the ideal mower. You can do big, you can do small, you can do intermediates. You can really do a lot of stuff with them. If you cut an acre, you cut 2 acres. I mean, take you a little longer, but it's a good all-around mower. You don't really have to turn down a whole lot, with the 36, versus if you just had the push mower. You can get them used at fairly reasonable prices online. Something that I have that I think is a good mower if you can't go with a 36 is the Toro Turfmaster 30. Just this big mower here. It's a 30-inch self-propelled push mower. It's heavy. It can be kind of fatiguing. At 285 pounds, you still have to push on it some going up hills. You got to hold back on it a little bit going downhill, and you still got to manhandle it and turn it around. Still a great starting out mower in my opinion. I'm even myself, it works great for me, and I probably won't ever get rid of it. No plans in that at all. And when that one's done, I'm probably going to buy another one. But I think the 36 is a great all-around mower. For somebody starting out, a 36-inch walk behind, a push mower, a trimmer, and a blower. Those four things to me are the ideal setup for somebody just getting into it. That's your ideal, but a push mower, a trimmer, and a push broom to clean off your sidewalks, and you can get into it and rock on with that. Several ways to get your equipment. I finance my equipment. I know a lot of people say don't start a business without on a loan. I was lucky that I had a full-time job when I started this that allowed me to make that payment regardless. It really didn't matter to me whether I succeeded or I didn't. I was going to keep my mowers. Things I financed, my Honda push mower, my John Deere riding mower, my trimmer, my hedge trimmers, and my blower. I financed through John Deere Credit. Everything was financed together. I did put a large down payment on it, just to go ahead and knock out some of it initially, which is money that most people would go out and buy used equipment with. I put that down as a down payment and, bought my equipment. 36 months, 0% interest. My thoughts were, regardless of whether I succeed in this or I don't succeed in this, I'm going to continue to make that payment. I have the money to make that payment, and I'm not going to get rid of my equipment. I can cut my own grass, I can cut my granddaddy's grass, whatever. The mower's not leaving. It'll be paid for, and we'll keep and just use it ourselves. But I have been extremely successful. I started out with a couple of things, and now I have a 3-position trimmer rack with two steel trimmers on it, a steel straight shaft edger. I have the Toro 30 now. I have the Honda push mower, the John Deere. I have a backpack blower, handheld blower, head trimmers, head trimmer attachments for the other stuff. I've been very successful. So it's worked out, and that full-time job I had to make that payment with is no longer a full-time job. All I do is cut grass. So, if you got that full-time job and, you have that money to be able to do it, go out and buy a brand new 36-inch, finance it. Hey, if nothing else, cut your own grass with it. But don't go out and do it if you're getting into this and it's an uncertainty there. You don't have another job to make that payment with, and it's going to kind of be an iffy thing with you. Don't go out and finance. I would highly recommend against that. That this is going to be your only means of income, because you're not going to make so much money in the first year normally. Some people get lucky and hit it big their first year and keep rocking with it. And then you got the winter months, that in your first year, you're going to learn that you got to save for the winter time. Put money back. I put money back You know, I save up some money to be able to have during the winter, but I also work part-time at the fire department still. So, you know, I work all I want to during the winter pretty much. So it's like a supplemental income for me, you know, with that deal. So, you know, I don't have to worry so much about saving, but so much during the summertime, you know, because I know I'm going to have the other income. But like I said, if you can finance, if not, go out, you know, and take your seed money that you have, and buy you some used equipment. You know, buy you a good push mower that's used, buy you a good trimmer that's used, a handheld blower that's used, and, you know, a walk behind if you can that's used. You know, you can get started in this with used equipment that's probably in good shape for, you know, $2,000-$3,000 and have everything you want. You know, it's not like going out financing, you know, $13,000 worth of equipment, so to say, you know. But yeah, that's my take on this. You know, I said several ways you can get stuff, several ways to get started. But as long as you do what you got to do, and you work hard at it, and you know you do good work, you're not going to fail in this industry. You know, there's too much growth there. There's too much growth, you know, with people moving different areas, whatnot. I'm lucky enough to live in a city with a population a little over 1 million people. So my potential is endless here. And statistics show about 70% of the people here that own a home or buying a home will not cut their own grass or do any sort of landscaping. So, you know, look at where you're at, look at what your potential is, you know, before you jump into buying your equipment. If you have a high potential, you know, go all out. If, you know, you have a low potential, don't. You know, build your business and then build your equipment, versus building your equipment and then building your business. You know, some people are able to build their equipment and then build their business. I was lucky enough to do that. A lot of people aren't. But, you know, that doesn't make them any different from me. They're doing the same thing I am. You know, they're out there cutting grass. They're out there making money the same way. So, yeah, it is what it is, guys. You know, you just got to have that ambition. You got to have that mindset, and you got to be positive with it and stick with it. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna have ups. It's gonna have downs. You're gonna have people that won't pay you. You know, it's all part of life. So you just stick to the bad, and the good will come. You know. So, but yeah, guys, that's my take on everything. You good?